You're making six figures of income, but you feel like you're still living paycheck to paycheck. You've got different things going on, but you don't necessarily have a plan. When it comes to your finances, you need to build out the right system. Having a strong income stream does not necessarily equal having a strong financial plan. Ultimately, your financial plan and your financial system is what's going to drive your confidence, your long term financial success, and your peace of mind. Let me give you a story of a client of mine. So I've got a 35-year-old client. He's making around 200,000 a year. He has money in investments in the stock market. He's got some savings and he's built out a nice chunk in his 401k. His finances seem pretty strong on paper, but he doesn't necessarily have a system. What I mean by that is he's living always one catastrophe, market adjustment, surprise life event away from having his entire financial picture thrown off. And so when I sat down with this gentleman when we first started working together, I wasn't talking to him about chasing the best rates of return, how to find the sexiest investment out in the marketplace, or sell him on some unicorn investment that he hadn't heard of before. I wanted to first start off by teaching him how to build out a financial foundation, a foundation for his finances that was going to allow him to continue to grow year after year after year and know that he was heading towards the goals he had set out for himself. So I began by sitting down with my client and we ran through his income, which was strong, 200,000 a year. We looked at his investments. They'd done pretty well in the market. He had his 401k growing for him, but he still was living almost paycheck to paycheck. As it may be the case for you, as his income had grown, his lifestyle and his expenses had grown as well with that. So we needed to take a step back and start building out a proper financial system. Where we started was through creating a discipline, a monthly savings discipline into a bucket or an asset where there was going to be guaranteed month over month growth. There was going to be no surprises, access to money when needed, and an immediate legacy for his family. God forbid something were to happen. What am I referring to here? I'm referring to whole life insurance. So we started building out his financial system around whole life insurance. Some of you may be asking why whole life insurance. Shouldn't he be putting money into savings? He could be putting more money into the market. There's all these things that he could be doing. For him, though, we wanted to start with a simple discipline. Put away $1,000 a month, have guaranteed month over month growth, and also importantly, make sure that he was going to have access to that money in the years to come. Because when I first sat down with this client, he was interested in growing out capital in real estate, in the stock market. We even touched on cryptocurrency a little bit. And the point was not to tell him where he should or should not invest his money. The point to his $1,000 a month contribution was to build out a system where his money was growing for him, where he was going to have access to capital. And as he grew out for the future and had a family, they were already protected, built into this plan. And so my client started on this plan. And to this day, he has consistently put away that money month over month. As time has gone on, as I mentioned, he has access to the capital. So let's talk about the stock market. He's been loving putting money in the stock market. Recently, when, in his opinion, his stocks had pulled back and there was maybe an opportunity to buy more into the stock market, instead of having to go to the banks for funding or liquidate from another asset, his whole life insurance policy that he had consistently been building out his month over month system around, he was able to borrow money from his plan, capitalize on a down stock market, grow his portfolio while he continued to build out his monthly system of discipline. Legacy requires intentional planning, not saving. So when I think about my client here that is creating this discipline, it's for the long game. He's putting away a monthly amount. If you've struggled beforehand with knowing where to start, you're chasing after returns in the marketplace, and you don't have a sense of direction with your money, I'm telling you that the number one place to start is with a strong financial foundation built around a discipline. And that discipline oftentimes starts by having a properly funded whole life insurance contract in place. Because when it comes to needing access to capital, guaranteed month or year over year growth, and creating a lasting legacy for your family and their future, it's one of the simplest places to start. So if you're not sure where to start with your money, remember this: start simple. Start with a discipline. Income is great. We need income to live. I always tell young people the most important asset that you have from today until the day you retire is your ability to earn an income. Once you have a strong income, though, it's important to start building the right financial system. And oftentimes that financial system starts with a simple discipline of putting money away month over month, somewhere with guaranteed growth, somewhere where your money's not going to be tied up until you're retired, but it's going to give you opportunity with the things that you love to invest in, which oftentimes is real estate, the stock market, business ventures. And so where can you start today? You can start by having a simple, systematic savings plan, oftentimes built around a properly structured whole life insurance contract. If you like this content, please subscribe, leave a comment in the section below. Would love to get your guys' feedback, and I'm very excited to continue posting more content around whole life insurance and how you can use it as a wealth building tool in your portfolio.